Hi there VC, it's Steve Whitty here and another video. This video has been one I've been promising to make for some time for myself. As you probably know, I've been collecting the Beatles vinyl collection by Di Agostini, and I'd showed them all off and I'd said I would look at doing some ranking videos. So this ranking video is to do with the comps, but I've also included a couple of comps that I've got already. So I've got 12 comps here, and you'll see what I've included as the comps as I go along. First up, at number 12, I've ranked the Beatles 20 greatest hits. This came out in 1982. This really was a sort of a tie-in for when the Love Me Do reached its 20th anniversary. They started releasing all the Beatles singles again, and Love Me Do got into the top 10 this time. And on here, you've got the single, you've got Love Me Do, From Me to You, She Loves You, Wanna Hold Your Hand, Can't Buy Me Love, Hard Day's Night, I Feel Fine, Ticket to Ride, Help, Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby, All You Need Is Love, Hello Goodbye, Lady Madonna, Hey Jude, Get Back, Ballad of Johnny Yoko. So, in a sense, you've got 20 of their greatest singles on there. So it's pretty standard greatest hits album. I don't see many copies of that, but it's worth checking out if you can find it. Then this you see a lot of. This is Love Songs, and it's a double album, which basically, as it says, it's more the slower tracks. They call it Love Songs, but it's more the slower tracks. So I've ranked that at number 11. I've included in the comps the Live at the BBC, because it is a compilation of recordings at the BBC. So at number 10, I've gone for Volume On Air Live at the BBC Volume 2. These are recordings between March 1962 and June 1965. Possibly the real bonus is the fact on sides 5 and 6, you've got the interviews, really good interviews with John, George, Paul and Ringo. And they're not just your bog standard interviews at that time. You know, these are quite telling interviews. They open up quite a lot, and you're coming out towards a time of their lives where things were starting to change. I mean, these interviews range from between November 1965 and May 1966. BBC recordings are a treasure trove, I must say. So, at number 9, I've put the Beatles One album. I know it's a huge seller, but this really is just a compilation of number 1 songs from UK and US charts. It says what it does on the tin. You don't need me to just go on what's on there. It's sold. It really, to me, it probably opened up the Beatles to a new generation of fans that just didn't, heard about them and just realised how good the tunes were. Number 8, I've put Anthology 1. Probably at the Anthology one, this is more the curio because it's got the very early recordings, and also the clips from TV shows, the Royal Variety Show, the Morecambe Wise Show, or which are good, but musically doesn't really say much at the time. You got a few studio tracks on there. I think this is number 7. Yep, number 7, I've put Anthology 2. This is probably more satisfying listening to than the original Anthology album. You've got here more excerpts and tracks from the period, really, from, I would say, 64 to 60, I would say 67. Some early recordings of tracks. Some of this, particularly the Sgt. Pepper stuff, probably ended up on the Sgt. Pepper reissue. So you got a taste of what was coming up on that one. Number 6, I've gone for Beatles Love. I've classed this as a comp. even though it's technically the bit things have been re-recorded, remixed. To me, it's a compilation of the tracks. I do like this album a lot. I know it got a bit of stick when it came out because you sort of like painting a moustache on the Mona Lisa a little bit, but I think it works seamlessly well. And I've said it before: the version of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" is the best version of that said track. Number 5, I mentioned about the Beatles at the BBC, and it's a treasure trove of stuff live at the BBC. When this came out originally, and I'm trying to think when it came out, 1994 when it came out. It is from again from 1960 March 1962 to June 1965. It's just a treasure trove of stuff. And when you recorded at the BBC, these were done in one take. There was no overdubs or anything like that. You just laid the tracks down. It was played live. You got some banter as well going in with the hosts. It's just a really good document of a band that's enjoying life at that time. It was a big thing to have get recorded by the BBC. Number 4, I've gone for the Beatles Past Masters. I like this comp. When I showed it, it's quite a cute comp. Disc 1 you've got it on the Parlophone label. Disc 2 you've got it on the Apple label. You've got some good curios on here. This is why I've ranked this quite highly. You've got obviously Komm gib mir din Hand, the German version of Wanna Hold Your Hand, and Sie liebt dich, She Loves You by the Beatles. And then you've got things like your Long Tall Sally's Matchbox, I'm Down. On side 3, it's got Paperback Writer and Rain. And Rain is probably one of the great tracks that never ended up on the Beatles tracks that never ended up on an album. And then you've got some really good stuff on, Get Back, Don't Let Me Down, Old Brown Shoe, Across the Universe. You finish up with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. I just think this is a really good comp. Probably at number 3, this is the first of the classic comps for a lot of people. This is the Red 1962 to 1966. This sort of like highlights the Beatles in their formative years. You've got all, again, I'm not going to list the tracks. You all know the tracks on here. But it's got the Beatles from when they, up to the point when they stopped touring and when how that all changed the music. It's just a classic comp. At number 2, I've put the Anthology 3. This is probably the Anthology the most interesting one because by this time the Beatles were 9 to 5 in the studio and a whole load of really good stuff. Again, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, I've gone on about that, but some really good early versions of tracks. And it's going to be interesting when they're talking about doing the same treatment for the White Album for its 50th anniversary they did for Sgt. Pepper. So looking at that, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out of that. And my number 1 comp, the Blue, 1967 to 1970. This is probably, in my opinion, Beatles at their best. You've got your Sgt. Pepper stuff. You're working your way through. You've got Hey Jude. You've got your Let It Be. Some really good stuff, and you could see that as musicians and writers, they were all the band had really developed, and it's just quality. I don't think there's a duff track on this comp. So that's my top 10. My top 10. My Beatle comps ranked. What do you think? Am I right, or am I totally barking up the wrong tree a little bit? I'd be interested to read your comments. If you've just come across my channel for the first time and you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. I'm currently on 167 subscribers. I'm pretty pleased with that. Excuse me, my throat's getting a bit dry. Product tie. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Feel free to leave a comment. I will get back to you. So enjoy your Saturday, VC. Take care of yourselves. keep spinning, and more importantly, keep smiling.